Shalom Aleichem and Bruchim Habayim. Moshe Langado here speaking under the auspices of Kollel, Baruch Ahavat Yisrael in San Diego, California, and Sha'rei Tziyon here in Brooklyn, New York. My friends, this week, Parshat LECH LECHA, the story of Avraham Avinu. At the end of the Parsha, God commands him the mitzvah of Brit Milah. Let me share with you a beautiful midrash concerning Rabbi Akiva. Rabbi Akiva had a nemesis named Turnus Ruppus. Turnus Ruppus would always try to drag Rabbi Akiva into different types of philosophical discussions. One day after their meeting, Turnus Ruppus asked, Rabbi Akiva, tell me, what is greater, the acts of God or the acts of man? And Rabbi Akiva smiled at Turnus Ruppus and says, I need at least 3 days to answer that question. Let us make an appointment in 3 days and we'll discuss it. To us, that seems ridiculous. How can one say the act of God is secondary to the act of men? God created the cosmos, the galaxies, the planets, the totality of the universe. And man is just a dust in the wind. But let's see what happens. As Rabbi Akiva walked home, he walked through a vacant field. Growing there were some barley stalks. He grabbed the barley stalks, put them in a hanky, put them in his pocket, continued home. He gets home, he's greeted by his wife Rachel. Rachel tells him, Rabbi Akiva, how was your day? Akiva said, Rachel, I need a favor. I have a meeting with Turnus Ruppus in 3 days, and I would like to serve him lunch. Can you cook up a delicious meal for both of us? And Rachel said, your word is my command. And she started preparing. And what a meal did she prepare? It was something delectable. 3 days pass. Rabbi Akiva takes the food that were prepared by Rachel, his wife, and walks to none other than Turnus Ruppus' castle. He knocks on the door. He's given entry. Turnus Ruppus is waiting for him. No, Rabbi Akiva, what do you have to say about my question? Rabbi Akiva said, slow down. We know the Romans like to eat. I brought you lunch. Each course, each entree, delicious. From the salads to the soup to the meat to the everything was scrumptious. The dessert, fabulous. At the end of the meal, Turnus Ruppus says, no, what do you have to say, Rabbi Akiva? Whose acts are greater, man or God's? He says, I didn't serve you the pièce de résistance. 1 minute. He says, this is something fabulous. Let me blindfold you so you'll be able to taste it fully. He blindfolded Turnus Ruppus. He went into his pocket and took those grains of barley which he had picked 3 days ago and put them in Turnus Ruppus' mouth. As Turnus Ruppus chewed what was in his mouth, he spit it out. Rabbi Akiva, dirt, straw you put into my mouth? You deserve death. Rabbi Akiva told him, let me explain. That was my answer to your question. Turnus Ruppus, in a bewildered, what do you mean, Rabbi? He says, listen carefully. My wife took all the materials that God put on earth, sugar and spices and flour and meats and vegetables, and she cooked them and she made them delicious. But if you would just eat the raw material, you would not enjoy it so much. God gave us the raw material, and it's our job to do what? To magnify it, to beautify it, to make it better. Comes Turnus Ruppus, he says, Rabbi Akiva, you beat me. My question was, in truth, how do you take a little child, a perfect child, born with the grace of God, and 8 days later, you mutilate him by making a Brit Milah? But now you explain to me that you're not mutilating him, you're making him better. That our job is to take the physical that God gave us and make it better. My friends, let's take the lesson to heart and let's make this world a better place to live in. Shabbat Shalom.